There are a number of things we can say about a positive world. Positive world being, just to recap, a world in which everything is defined, where everything has an appropriate category which it can be slotted in, a world where everything is known and everything follows rules which we are all acquainted with. So it can be seen that a positive world is a world in which ontological security, which is the security of knowing where we are, what we're doing, what it means to exist, and who we are, and all that kind of things. We know all the answers to those questions because we've been told what the answer is. Doesn't mean the answer is true because they are. It never is, but it means we've been told and we believe it. So that is ontological security. So a positive world is one which is all about security because everything is known. There's no spooky corners, no little dark corners where something might leap out and scare the bejesus out of us. So, as I was saying, there's a number of things we can say about a positive world. One is that it is the result of control. Because if there's no control, no regulation going on, there is no positive world. Therefore, the positive world is an artifact, a construct. So, number two thing we can say is that everything that happens within this artifact or construct or artificial world is unfree. It's all rules. We have to go along with it. There is no spontaneity, there is no free volition. There is only the illusion of free volition. There can't be such a thing as free volition. Because in all things, we're obeying rules, we're obeying instructions. Everything is a rule. Everything is an instruction. We could explain that a bit more just by saying that a positive world is identical to a simulation, and a simulation is the output of a rule, a mass of rules. The simulation is the output of a machine, which is a bunch of rules. So, clearly there's no volition in a simulation, because if there was, and I did something of my own free volition, that wouldn't be the simulation. It wouldn't be passed by the editors, by the regulators, the central scrutinizer, as Frank Zappa says. Spontaneity cannot be allowed, by definition. But at the same time, to be aware that we have no spontaneity, to be aware that we are following rules in all things, following precedents, repeating patterns, repeating habits, to be aware of that is terrible. It's very bad. It makes us feel rotten. It makes us feel rotten because there's no freedom, and to live without freedom is hell. We need freedom. Without freedom, we're cut off from oxygen. It's diabolical. And it's also to be inauthentic because I'm not acting out of my autonomy. It's the rules. It's not me, it's the rules. And that is exactly it. It's the rules. No matter what I do, it's the rules. I might as well not be there at all. I'm not there. I'm, I'm a, I'm a face, I'm a front for the rules. There is no autonomous person there who is obeying the rules. There's no such thing as an autonomous person who is always obeying the rules. So this is another thing we can say is that if I act spontaneously, bang goes the positive universe and bang goes my ontological security. There's just a big crack appeared in the little analog world, the little private pocket universe that I've created for myself. A big crack appears in it. So spontaneity cannot be allowed. But at the same time, if I'm aware that there's no spontaneity, then the experience is too hellish to endure. So what's the answer? And the answer is, of course, for us to falsely believe that we too have free volition, for us to falsely believe that we have our own opinions, our own thoughts on things, which we don't, for us to falsely believe that we're not obeying rules the whole time, that our opinions are genuine to us. So we have to believe a whole load of stuff that isn't true. It straight away puts us in a very brittle position. Because although on one level, on the overt level, I'm engaged in theatrically living my life as a theatrically free agent, doing my thing, living my best life, doing the stuff that I want to do. That's the theatrical realm. But behind the theatrical realm is a necessity to make sure that I don't ever realize that this is all fake, that this is all a self-deception. And there's lots of things that can happen in the course of the day that will upset me and may start to make me aware of the fact that I don't really have any true volition. So an awful lot of the time is going to be spent maintaining the illusion, which is what I'm long-windedly trying to say. If there's an illusion that we need to believe in, then there is also the need to maintain that illusion. Because it ain't going to maintain itself. So that's where the brittleness and the rigidity comes from, and that's where the extreme reactivity comes from, if anything happens to put me in a position where I can't control 100%. So in psychiatry these days, to come back to the topic of psychiatry, which is never far away, being in control and getting back into control is a good thing. It's the name of the game. You can see kind of get your life back into control as a kind of a slogan that you, in one form or another, that is the basis for how we understand mental health, or the journey from being mentally unwell to being mentally well. It's all about taking back control. But obviously, given what we've just said, that's a pure nonsense. There couldn't be a bigger nonsense. It's not mental health we're coming back to, but it's perfect unconsciousness. In other words, the state where I am able to be totally unfree, totally inauthentic, be in a situation where I've totally given away all responsibility to the system, and yet where I get to believe that I'm me, that I'm free, that I'm a volitional agent, that I'm kind of a bit of a rebel even, I'm out there, I don't do what I'm told. So that's what we're calling mental health.